What's going on, guys? It's GBP baby. Welcome back to another video. Welcome to all the crypto heads. Cryptocurrency is something that I've always been interested in. I haven't really paid much attention to, but it'll be interesting to see how we can apply ICT concepts to the charts. Now, because I haven't been studying ICT concepts, because I haven't been studying cryptocurrency with ICT concepts, definitely don't expect my precision to be anywhere near what it is on the forex pairs that we've been studying, GBP USD and Euro USD, but it'll be interesting to say the least if we can try and get an idea of where price is likely to draw. So I don't know how often I'm going to be making these videos, but if you like this, make sure to drop a comment, drop a like, and I'll know to make more. So recently on the monthly, we traded through our all-time highs, as I'm sure everyone is very aware. So we've taken out buy stops above there, and you can see this large displacement to the upside. So smart money is clearly showing interest in Bitcoin, meaning that we should continue to expect movement to the upside unless we're proven otherwise. What I'm going to bring our attention to is this large wick that we've taken out, and I'm going to just drag it out like this, and I'm going to mark out the midpoint. Now the reason I'm drawing our attention to this is because we've delivered and traded through this on a monthly basis now and taken out the highs, meaning that if we're to remain bullish, the 50% level of this wick, which is what we call consequent encroachment, should provide support. So when we drop down to the lower time frame, we should be able to watch this level to provide support for higher prices, assuming this displacement to the upside is smart money wanting to continue to accumulate BTC. So let's just get the midpoint marked out on its own just to make it a little bit more clean for us. And yeah, we just need to acknowledge the fact that we've traded through on the upside, so that means that price should continue to find support on top of it. This buy side here that's been tagged, I'm going to also grey out like so, because we've already taken out the buy stops there. And now we can drop down to the weekly to get a better look. So here is last week's price action, and one thing to take note of is the fact that cryptocurrencies run on a 24/7 market, meaning that the markets don't ever close. That's why I'm not really too sure on when to expect certain moves. The same way I do when I analyze GBP, USD and Euro, I do have limits on the lowest I want to see price trade. So in this case, I'm going to be looking at this inversion fair value gap right here, and we can make this black. And this is the very lowest I want to see price trade over the next coming weeks. So if price does come down here, I want to see this provide support for higher prices with the expectation to run for this week's high that's been created right here. If we trade through this on the downside, then I'd simply be expecting lower prices and we can start hunting for sell stops. But until then, I'd like to think that we can find support on top of this inversion fair value gap, and even better on top of the monthly consequent encroachment if we are to be trading higher. Another thing to take note of is we do have a potential reclaimed bullish order block here. So what we can do is we can mark out the opening of this. I'll make it black, and this is an anticipated order block. And what I mean by that is that price, when it returns down, if it does manage to return down into this range, should be able to reaccumulate at this level. So this would offer us the opportunity to go long with the expectation to run for this buy side liquidity up here. So I'm going to get that marked out like so. And it'd be nice to see if price can make its way down to it. Like I said, it doesn't need to, and we very well could only trade to this level and then continue higher. But I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to, trick people into thinking that Bitcoin's made its high and that it's falling now, and then reaccumulate more positions to then offset at higher prices. Another thing to take note of as well is that when we run out a significant swing high, like this is the highest we've ever been, right? We can anticipate price to go through it twice. And what I mean by that is, for example, when we took out this high all the way back in 2021 October, we ran through it once, pulled back, ran through it again, and then we broke lower. So I'm expecting the same thing in this case. We've ran through the buy side once. I'm expecting some kind of retracement, and then I'd expect us to run through it again. Now, obviously, above here is what we called discovery, as in we've never been to these prices before, so there's nothing for us to latch onto on the south side of the curve, meaning that we don't know when the high is going to form. But like I said, we should remain long until proven otherwise. So until we see significant displacement to the downside, we should be looking to continue to hold onto BTC. Now, again, this ain't financial advice, and this is my first time looking with ICT concepts. But yeah, let's shut down to the daily. So you'll see how we came down to that monthly consequent encroachment. You can already see today on Sunday we've had a nice reaction off of that level. There is a little breaker here, high, low, higher, high, and then price had broken and closed on the downside. So I'd like to think that this breaker right here, this candle from Tuesday, can continue to provide resistance. If price does trade through and starts running for the buy side straight away, so be it. That's completely fine. But it'd be nice to see if price can consolidate a little and move our way down into this reclaimed bullish order block. If price gets down here, then, you know, like I said, we could start looking for longs. Stop loss below here with the expectation to run for this buy side. If we trade through this level aggressively lower, then like I said, I'll probably start looking for sell stops. But we will be paying attention to cryptocurrency over the next few weeks. So definitely stay tuned and smash that subscribe button. I'm not going to bother really go to the 4 hour just because I don't really trade Bitcoin like that on a time frame, on this lower time frame. And, you know, it's something that people want to be holding more so than anything. So if I was you guys, I'd just have these levels marked out. And then, yeah, just see how price trades in the new week. Preferably, like I said, it'd be nice to see some lower prices. And I'd like to find support at this level. But overall, I do think that this week's high that was created is going to get ran and that we may be trading higher. So that's everything on Bitcoin. Now this video is called Bitcoin and Friends, and that's because I am looking at other currencies, cryptocurrencies, sorry. We're going to look at Ethereum. And you'll find that Ethereum hasn't quite reached its all-time high yet, but Bitcoin has. And we know that Bitcoin is leading, but we can put this as a potential target. Now you see that we've traded through significant swing highs right here, an intermediate swing high, and obviously we've just bounced off it. So again, we should expect the same kind of price action moving into the next week in terms of some kind of retracement before push higher to start aiming for that buy side liquidity. So I'm going to quickly go to the monthly first just to take a look. You can see we ran out this high, filled in a fair value gap here, and we're just coming off this high right now. So here we have an inversion fair value gap. And this is inverted because we traded through on the downside, and now we traded through on the upside. So now I'm watching this range to see how price treats it. We can mark out the 50% level off here. And then when we drop down to the lower time frame on the weekly, you can see we've already traded to that 50% level, which is very interesting. And again, I'd like to think that price can continue to respect this level with the expectation to be running higher towards that buy side liquidity on Ethereum. So let's go to the daily. You'll see we traded to that, and we're already coming off of that level. Now again, I'm not sure on how crypto trades. It's going to be interesting to watch, but overall I am targeting you know, the 4,900 level on Ethereum. I'm not saying it's going to do it next week or the week after, but that is my overall target, and I'd like to think that we don't go any lower than this swing low. If we break below this low, like if we lose this low, then that means that Bitcoin is likely going to be moving lower as well, and then we can simply start being bearish. But until then, again, until proven otherwise, we should remain bullish. Now there is a little breaker here. We might want to pay a little bit of attention to that, and the reason I say that is because, again, I don't know how they move these markets, but we might trade into that breaker, comes down, consolidates a little before we see our next expansion. So don't be surprised if we have some kind of consolidation first before our next leap to this buy side liquidity. So yeah, that's everything on Ethereum. So the final coin I'm going to bring our attention to is Shiba Inu. Now Shiba is something that I did actually have a little bit of a long time ago, 2021, and then I just sold it just because I didn't understand anything. And yeah, you can see we've had a clear, you know, displacement to the upside. So there's obviously some kind of institutional interest in this coin. We ran out a significant swing high right here, so that's buy stops grabbed. And like I said, we should be expecting higher prices until proven otherwise. There is a breaker here, but price doesn't need to come all the way back down into this, and that's because we traded through this candle here. So what I'm looking at now is I'm looking at the volume of this candle, this up close candle, and I'm going to drag that right through. Now on the downside, this is where smart money was distributed. So we can see distribution here, and that means that on the upside, price they should be accumulating here, meaning that we should be looking for longs with the expectation to, you know, trade higher. Relative equal highs are kind of forming here and here, and then maybe even reach into all-time highs. So let's just get that marked out as targets, and then we'll drop down to the weekly and see what price has been doing. And you'll see how we did trade that back down into here. This is where they'd be reaccumulating, and again where they're going to offset their positions above swing highs here, here, and potentially even up here. So in terms of Shiba USD, that is definitely something I have my attention on. I'd like to see higher prices, and I'd like to see a continuation to the upside. If we go to the daily, you can see how we traded down into this level. What's also trading into a daily bullish order block right here. Touched it, and then look at today, we've already getting a reaction off that. So it'd be interesting to see if Shiba can trade higher. So this is definitely a coin I have my eye set on, and yeah, I'll be paying close attention to it. Another thing I want to bring our attention to though is Shiba versus Bitcoin. Now, the reason I'm bringing our attention to this graph is because I look at this the same way I look at Euro GBP. If I'm expecting lower dollar, I want to be, that means I want to be going long on Euro or GBP, but I want to be going long on the strongest pair. So I go to Euro GBP, and if Euro is moving like this, moving higher, then I'd want to be trading Euro to go long because that will have the most movement and aggression. So I'm looking at Shiba the same way against Bitcoin. We can see that Shiba is clearly, again, buying interest right here with the expectation to run for these highs. So that means that we should expect a lot of volatility and continuation to the upside. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm going to be paying attention to this pair, and that's because I want to see how we trade into this midpoint. So I'm gonna have a few alerts set up and things, and I'll obviously make some updates on price. But this is my first target. Once price reaches there, we might find some consolidation on ENU, and you know, we'll see how price trades. But overall, I'm bullish on Shiba with the expectation to trade aggressively higher into these relative equal highs, which is why I'm watching their coin now, and we can see, you know, a lot of volatility happening. So definitely a coin to pay attention to, and yeah, that's going to be everything. So I hope you found this insightful, guys. If you want more videos like this, please drop a comment below, drop a like so I know to make more, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.